I make poor life choices.
I'm in the same boat. I always had a fascination with fire. It's when I was little, it was like this close to being dangerous. But I also had a fascination with knives, which oddly enough, not quite so dangerous. I just wanted to collect them. And then, after I was a huge fan of like medieval literature. So I'd read a lot of the Arthurian legends. I'd read a lot of the, fantastical knight tales. And I came to find out that I didn't really care about what they did. I cared more about the swords and what they looked like and how they were made. And after that
Completely
slowly,
missing the morals of the stories.
yeah, pretty much. After that, it grew into kind of an obsession as to how to figure out how to do this, and he doesn't know anything about this, but that was way before the internet. You couldn't just look it up. And then I found this guy. I tried to do it quite a few times on my own, but there's a thing about being in a neighborhood where people are like, oh, I don't know about black smoke coming from somebody's backyard. There's no black smoke. I know that now. It smells like a barbecue. But there were a lot of people are kind of reticent to have a blacksmith in their backyard, especially someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So when I found him, he had a designated spot, somewhere that I could play with fire and play with hot metal. I was like a kid in a candy store. We're in Austin, Texas, and it's actually in his backyard.
Yeah, when I first met Lyndon, I had a big shop, and I had started this company with some friends, and we're like, yeah, this is going to be awesome. We'll have our own company, and we'll call it this, and we'll have these things, and we'll have this space. It was a big mistake.
See, again, poor life decisions.
Yeah, poor life decisions. I was in a bad place at the time. But we had this big shop, and I had the machines on one side, and the other side was going to be like an office showroom. Never happened. But it gave us a place to work out of. But having such a lot of overhead and stuff like that, and not really having a good idea of where I was going to go to sell things and stuff like that, it didn't work out too well. The second time around, I built a shop in my backyard. It was much smaller. It
doesn't even take
like
up the stage.
It's like the size of the stage.
It's smaller than the stage.
Shut up. It's bigger than it looks.
That's what she said.
It's just cold out. The smallest child left. Probably because we keep doing that. So we work out of this little tiny shop in the backyard, and I like it more because literally everything is made with my two hands. I built the shop with my friends, built the forge, built everything. Put a couple of machines in it, and it's, like this whole quest has been trying to get closer to the pieces and try and get more of ourselves into our work, more of our intent, more of our imagination, more of the spirit of what we're trying to convey through these weapons, which is what got me into it. It was a natural progression from martial arts and learning discipline, to kind of tame some of my more wild dispositions. And
he's got a temper problem.
No. And in the pursuit of learning about weapons and the use of them, I got really interested in the history behind them, and then into how they were made and what went into the making of these weapons. And then what really caught me when I got onto that thread was all of these makers, these makers of weapons, and the spirit and the passion and what they were really trying to do, and that whole spiritual path of trying to create something that conveys more than just a sharp edge. You know, it conveys, you know, more of a deeper message and meaning and intent than just this is a pointy thing to kill your enemy with. You know, there's more to it. And that's what got me into it, and that was, you know, where it led me to where I am now. And once I was on that path, I just wanted to seek a deeper connection to each piece, as opposed to, like, when I first started, I was making them en masse in a shop that was geared heavily with machine work and doing a lot of grinding on grinders and you know, almost assembly line stuff. Even though the work was custom, it still, there was a certain distance. It wasn't exactly what I was trying to put out, you know. So it led me to eventually go off, leave my apprenticeship, go off on my own, open my own shop, and I completely retooled everything I did. I went purely to handwork, hand files, hand hammering, you know, no machines, you know, hand sanding. And that's when I really connected with my work. That's when I was really happy doing what I do. And you know, now it all makes sense. You know, I moved it into the backyard. I built the shop myself. You know, everything that you're getting from us is purely made by us. It's, you know, even the place where it comes from. You know, it's all, everything we have to offer, and we put it out on the table, and that's exactly what we're trying to say. There is no more distance. It's like, this is something that we're giving to the world. This is what we're trying to say. You know, we're really bad with words, but here's this.
Yeah.
You know?